Well, hello. Welcome back to Devlog number 5 at this point. It's getting crazy, but I yapped a little too much in the last one, so I just want to jump into it right here. So currently, for the level after the boss fight, kind of went with a desert vibe, so I just right there made the background. Made it a tiled sprite, easier to spread out. Everything's good, platformed good, and then I needed to define a little bit more of the platform, so I kind of made it a lighter color compared to the background so that you could actually tell what you're walking on. And right here, I decided to make a cave because, well, you just came out of a cave. So I figured, well, we'll have the cave be right where the player comes out of, just to give just to tie all the levels in a little bit more. Now, does it really make sense that you're coming out of a cave into a desert? No, but hell, if you're underground, like, how do you know where you're coming out? You could be coming out in the desert. You don't know. So I was just like, yeah, we'll just go with it. And I just wanted to make a little bit of a desert level anyway, so I figured it'd work out a little bit, and I was pretty happy with it. And what I did there was just added the health system from everything previously, copy pasted it to the current level, and then I'm currently filling in below the players so that you just don't see a white screen there. And then right here, yeah, I decided, well, we're in the desert, right? So I have like little like faint-ish kind of cactuses for the background, but I figured just to add a little more in general to the level, I was like, well, why not have cactuses? And then obviously I needed one to be like the block off for the level, like that's where it ends. So made the cactus quite a lot bigger. And also I wanted to mention, because I think I said it in the last one, I ended up figuring out actually how to fix the cabin level, and I did re-implement enemies into it. There was a problem with my code where I had the wrong thing. It was saying, because obviously I copy and pasted the new health system from the boss level on, and I have a separate boss character because that one shoots, and it was calling to the player boss. And also right here, if you're wondering what I'm doing, I was like, I don't really know how to make a tumbleweed, and I think it kind of came out kind of alright. I used it as platforms and also made separate ones obviously for the enemy movement. Whenever they run into this, they turn around, and run into that one, turn around. So just the pacing back and forth. I also use them as platforms for the character, and then also for just background in general. But what I was saying was, it was calling to the player boss, the boss player, and not the current player that I use for every other level, because that character doesn't shoot. So then I figured it out, and I just had to rewrite what it was calling to. So I fixed it. So there are actually enemies on that level, which is really nice. And yeah, just here, building out the level a little bit, just, you know, basic stuff. And I wanted to add just a little bit more difficulty in a way to everything that I've been doing. So you'll see me, I end up like making it so that you have to go up high, and if you don't make it up there, then you basically can't get out. Like, you'll see me, I block here, so you have to go up there to get over it, and if you don't, you fall into like a pit of a bunch of enemies that are virtually bound to kill you. And I just keep working with just building out the level a bit here. Obviously right here, I was like, well, we're in a desert level, so why not make some of the enemies also be cactuses? Messed up a little bit on the design there, but then I decided to change out and fix it, and then I just work on the animations for it as well. And then also, what I started doing here was I was like, well, cactuses are known for like holding on to water, right? So I was like, well, let me just have the cactuses shoot water. I know it's kind of boring or whatever, but I was like, well, it's like the best thing I can think of. So that's just what I went with. And sometimes making a game, that's just what you do, right? You just go with what you think is gonna work, and I'm happy with it. That's really all that matters. And obviously here for a little while I just work on coding and making sure it works right and figuring out how much damage I want him to deal to the player and just figuring out how much damage it is dealing, because there keeps being this weird thing where the damage will sometimes end up multiplying on itself, so I just have to figure out how much it's multiplying by to give the right amount of damage for what I need. And then what you saw me doing there for a split second, I was sitting there for a little bit. I remember I was contemplating on what I wanted the other enemy to be. I couldn't figure it out, and then I started like trying to make, I think it was an armadillo, and I scrapped that because it wasn't going well. And then I was like, maybe I'll make it like a moving tumbleweed, and then I couldn't figure that out either. I'll be honest. So I just straight up gave up with it and just made a little like green moving blob. And this was also the first time I tried out with a animation of them jumping, which I thought was really cool. Turned out really well. And I know you might be wondering, why am I making it that when it jumps up, its eyes are like really wide? And you'll see it's because in the animation, it's I don't remember what specifically it's called, but man, I can't think of the name of it. But it's whenever something jumps, it's easier to make the animation look more fluid by stretching out all of the character's features to make it look like it's jumping and coming back down, just to make it look a little bit more fluid. So I decided to test that out there, and I was pretty happy with it, honestly. And obviously what I'm doing up here, finishing up the video a little bit, just pretty basic stuff, just coding it, making it deal a certain amount of damage, however much I want it to work, doing a little math also to figure it out with the way I wanted it to do. There was a little issue that was going on with not only the animations, but also the damage was bugging out a little bit, which I managed to fix as well, which is really nice. And I just gotta say, I'm really happy with this level in general. It turned out probably the best out of all my levels that I've done so far, adding a couple new features here and there. And also, this level took me less than 2 hours, and that's insane. I've never done something that fast before, and it turned out probably the best that I've had anything turn out, which is just amazing. And I'm still, being a game dev, you're always improving on everything, and it's been a great journey so far. And yeah, I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are as well, enjoying watching me do this. And yeah, it's just really awesome. But as always, hey, thanks for watching,